Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Trump threatens federal intervention as anti-ICE protests sweep across Los Angeles, deploys 2,000 National Guard troops, federal agents arrest at least 44 migrants for immigration violations in first round. Colombia's opposition presidential contender Miguel Uribe fights for his life after being shot in Bogota. Suspect arrested. Colombia's presidency categorically and forcefully rejects the violent attack. US condemns attempted assassination. Coco Gauff becomes first American since 2015 to lift the French Open title in men's singles category. Super showdown awaits as Alcaraz all set to face Sinner in super finale. Federal agents clashed with protesters in Paramount, California for a second day on Saturday, deploying flashbang grenades and tear gas to disperse crowds opposing immigration raids. The confrontations centered near a home depot used as a staging area by Immigration and Customs Enforcement saw protesters block streets with cement blocks and shopping carts, some waving Mexican flags and burning a US flag. The raids, part of President Donald Trump's aggressive immigration crackdown, targeted undocumented migrants with nearly 120 arrests reported over 2 days. Now, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, vowed to deploy the National Guard, claiming the operations enhance safety. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass condemned the raids as sowing terror in communities. Aerial footage showed a car burning during anti-ICE protest in Compton, California on Saturday. A helicopter delivered resources to federal agents nearby, while firefighters were seen extinguishing the fire, with protesters still protesting. Hundreds of protesters gathered outside the Metropolitan Detention Center as well in downtown Los Angeles on Saturday, condemning the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement raids that detained at least 44 people across the city. Demonstrators chanting "Free them all" clashed with the federal agents and police, who used tear gas, flashbang grenades and less than lethal munitions to disperse the crowds. Protests escalated after raids targeted businesses like Ambience Apparel and a Home Depot, prompting accusations of terror from Mayor. Amidst the immigration clashes, US President Donald Trump has vowed federal intervention to curb escalating protests against immigration raids in Los Angeles, slamming California Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass for failing to manage the unrest. In a Truth Social post, Trump called the protests riots and looters and signaled robust action. Governor Newsom condemned the deployment as inflammatory, warning it would erode trust, while Los Angeles officials criticized the raids for sowing fear in city's diversified communities. In the latest, US President Donald Trump has ordered the deployment of 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles to address escalating protests against immigration and customs enforcement raids, as announced by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Now, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, in a post on social media platform X, labeled protests against federal immigration raids in downtown Los Angeles as an insurrection against the laws and sovereignty of the United States. The demonstrations, sparked by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement operations targeting undocumented migrants, turned volatile as protesters clashed with federal agents in Paramount, a heavily Latino suburb. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detained Khaby Lame, who is the world's most followed TikToker with about 162 million followers, at Las Vegas's Harry Reid International Airport on the 6th of June for overstaying his visa. The 25-year-old Italian, known for his humorous silent videos, was released the same day and voluntarily left the U.S. Lame is a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and has not commented publicly on it yet. The detention aligns with President Donald Trump's intensified immigration enforcement, including mass deportation efforts, which have sparked legal challenges. Lame's fame stems from mocking complex online tutorials with simple solutions, earning millions through brand deals. A technical symposium was held in South Africa to address issues in global water sustainability. The event convened the engineers, industry leaders, utility managers and policymakers to explore cutting-edge solutions in water and wastewater treatment. Key sessions focused on topics such as demineralization, system diagnostics, advanced membrane technologies and innovations in wastewater recycling. Nazneel Ismail has more. Take a look.
In Johannesburg, South Africa, a technical symposium was held to address one of the continent's most urgent issues, water scarcity. Hosted by Ion Exchange SAFIC, the South African subsidiary of Indian multinational Ion Exchange Limited, the two-day technical symposium brought together over 100 participants from across the water sector.
It is our collective responsibility to prioritize water security as a cornerstone of sustainable development and climate resilience. India's own achievements in water management through programs such as the Jal Jeevan Mission and the Clean Ganga initiatives are noteworthy. More than 80% of Indian municipalities have adopted practices such as water reuse, metering and digital water governance.
As far as my knowledge of South Africa is concerned, their water treatment to municipalities are very old systems and which needs to have a big development. And these systems can be revamped. And as a technology professionals of India, I do hope India can have a very good part in improving the technologies of water, especially on the municipal as well as commercial.
The symposium served as a collaborative platform to address the challenges in water and wastewater treatment, including scarcity of water resources, technology adoption, and the shortage of skilled professionals in the sector.
It was an honor to come here and join the symposium and present. There were one symposium, of course, which was with the ESCOM, and ESCOM is one of the largest power generation company, and getting into ESCOM and try to impress them or try to convince them or try to make them think about ion exchange by giving them proper presentations and our capability was the idea, and I think to larger extent we have successfully done it.
It's a combination of relationship and experience and knowledge. So SAFIC brings in local infrastructure, local connect, local understanding. Their deep understanding about how South African consumer and customers think. Same time, Ion Exchange brings in the proven products, proven technologies, proven technical knowledge, and our skill sets. So when both work together, you're bound to get results, and that's what is happening currently in South Africa.
With water security at the forefront, experts are pooling their knowledge together for a better future. For DD India, Johannesburg, South Africa, I'm Nazneen.
The United Nations Ocean Conference is all set to open its doors in France's Nice on Monday. Co-hosted by France and Costa Rica, 5-2 UNOC3 aims to accelerate action on protecting the world's oceans. The conference aims to accelerate action and mobilize all actors to conserve and sustainably use the ocean, focusing on key themes like restoring marine ecosystems, reducing pollution, and promoting ocean-based scientific cooperation. Oceans cover over 70% of the Earth's surface and is a regulator of major environmental balances, a provider of vast resources and biodiversity, and an important enabler of trade and an essential link between countries and human communities. Protecting the ocean means protecting an immense carbon sink and unimaginable biodiversity reserves. Thus, the conference will seek to support the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 14 on the marine environment, with focus on completion of multilateral processes linked to the oceans, mobilizing sources of finance, and strengthening and better disseminating the knowledge. Ahead of the significant conference, activists and organizations are holding protests in Nice, demanding better protection for the world's oceans and marine wildlife. Hundreds of protesters held blue walk along the Nice's famed Promenade du Anglais on Saturday, raising voices for the preservation of the oceans. Wearing blue and white color cloths, the participants held banners saying "Protect the ocean, protect life, and don't touch my bottom." Some were seen wearing hats with coral shapes, while others dressed as sharks held the banners with signs saying "Forced labor." The protesters with their blue walk denounced activities such as bottom trawling, which is a method of fishing where a cone-shaped net is dragged along the seafloor to catch marine life. It's a destructive practice that can significantly impact the seabed and surrounding ecosystems. At the conference, India is being represented by Dr. Jitendra Singh as the head of the high-level delegation who has reached Nice. India's participation in this international meet marks a significant futuristic step by the Government of India, as it would reiterate Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment to India's global engagement on ocean sustainability and marine cooperation. Now, Colombian Senator Miguel Uribe, a potential presidential contender, remains in critical condition after being shot 3 times during a campaign event in Bogota. While he was addressing the supporters, a gunman opened fire, striking him twice in the head and once in the knee before being detained. Police identified the suspected attacker as a 15-year-old minor who was detained after being injured during the affray. 2 other people, a man and a woman, were also wounded in the shooting, and a Glock-style firearm was recovered at the scene. Meanwhile, Colombia's President Gustavo Petro said on Saturday night that no hypothesis would be ruled out in the investigation into the shooting.
No hay más que hipótesis. Y las hipótesis no pueden ser descartadas de antemano porque viciamos la ciencia de la investigación. Como que un dirigente político de Colombia, no importa su posición, su color de camiseta, su pensamiento, haya sido víctima de un intento de asesinato que ojalá no prospere. Y el Estado todo de Colombia se pone al servicio de la vida.
The attack has sparked international condemnation. Chilean President Gabriel Boric expressed outrage on social media platform X, while U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio described the shooting as an assassination attempt and blamed violent leftist rhetoric from Colombia's higher government positions. We are heading for a short break, but still to come on the other side. Up next, we'll get you all the latest on India's global outreach on Operation Sindoor. And internet services suspended in 5 districts of Manipur. Stay tuned to know why.
Our world has been facing challenges that have pushed us to the extremes. But every challenge is an opportunity that makes us rethink, rebuild, and become more resilient.
There is a weed called Lantana camara in the forest, which has been destroying the entire ecosystem. So we collaborate with indigenous people to remove this weed and convert it into briquettes.
Once you have per square kilometer accurate data, citizen groups, they will start mobilizing actions, will have an ability to focus on specific parts where the problem is.
We are currently working on a project that could protect people. This project aims to create artificial mini albufueras.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Live with me, Deepika. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government has completed 11 years in the office. And up next, we get you how good governance has impacted lives and improved the status of Indian economy. Take a look. Well, through schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and Mission Shakti, women empowerment has been one of the hallmarks of the government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Highlighting the NDA government's efforts to redefine women-led development in the last 11 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday said that various government initiatives are intended to empower the country's women. Take a look.
Under the government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the focus has shifted from women's development to women-led development. Over the last 11 years, Schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and Mission Shakti have been a reflection of this. Women and children comprise nearly 67.7% of India's population, and their empowerment is not just social reform. It's a strategic imperative. Let's take a look at initiatives for women. With an investment of over rupees 1.81 lakh crore, Poshan 2.0 is being rolled out to build a culture of well-being through improved practices, stronger immunity, and holistic wellness. One of the world's largest public health efforts, Universal Immunization Program covers nearly 2.9 crore pregnant women annually, protecting both mothers and their newborns from vaccine preventable diseases. 73% of nearly 2.75 crore PM Awas Gramin Yojana or rural housing scheme beneficiaries are women. Under the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, 10.33 crore LPG connections have been distributed. Over 12 crore toilets have been built under SBM Gramin as part of the Swachh Bharat mission. Over 15.6 crore tap water connections are transforming the lives of the women in rural India who had to fetch water from long distances. More than 34.11 lakh crore loan amount has been sanctioned under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Notably, 68% of the beneficiaries are women. Mission Shakti is a flagship initiative to ensure the safety, security, and empowerment of women across all stages of life. Women have also made strides in defense. The graduation of the first batch of female cadets from the National Defense Academy is a testament to this. India boasts the highest number of female pilots in the world and leads globally in the proportion of women graduating in STEM or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The landmark Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam marks a constitutional leap for women's political empowerment by reserving 33% of seats in the Lok Sabha or lower house and state assemblies for women. The Modi government has placed women at the center of India's development journey, transforming everyday struggles into opportunities for health, safety, and self-reliance. From housing to hygiene, each initiative has uplifted lives and strengthened the foundation of Nari Shakti in rural India. Bureau Report, DD India.
While India's all-party delegation, led by BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad, returned this morning after successfully conveying India's unwavering resolve to fight against terrorism across France, Italy, Denmark, England, Brussels and Germany. In the last leg of their six-nation visit, team engaged in Germany, where on Saturday the team interacted with the leaders and key representatives of the Indian community in Berlin. The event began with the participants observing a 2-minute silence in solemn tribute to the victims and pledging to stand united against the scourge of terrorism. The Indian community in Berlin displayed immense enthusiasm, drawing inspiration from India's growth story and its unwavering stand against terrorism under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ravi Shankar Prasad termed the visit to Germany as highly successful, saying across the 6 countries they visited, they received great respect and India's concerns were given a hearing. Earlier, the team engaged with key members of the German Bundestag as well as prominent German think tanks. They underscored India's stand on zero tolerance for terrorism. The members conveyed that India's response to the Pahalgam terror attack was precise, measured and non-escalatory. Additionally, they articulated India's unequivocal position that no distinction can be made between terrorists and those who support or shelter them. While the team led by Shashi Tharoor continued to engage across the US, the delegation paid homage to Mahatma Gandhi at his statue opposite the embassy in Washington, D.C. Writing on social media platform X, Tharoor highlighted how many world capitals are adorned with statues or busts of Mahatma Gandhi, the 20th century's greatest apostle of peace, non-violence and human freedom. Earlier, Shashi Tharoor spent his final afternoon in Washington giving interviews to the various newspapers, during which he underscored that part of the objective of the trip was to get India's story out in the national media of the countries they were visiting. He expressed delight that similar thing has been happening in Colombia and Panama as well. Update from India's northeastern state of Manipur now. After violent protests on the streets of Imphal on Saturday night, internet and mobile data services have been suspended in 5 key districts for 5 days, effective 23:45 hours according to Indian Standard Time. Internet suspended in Imphal West, Imphal East, Thopul, Kakching and Bishnupur. And in sports, to begin with tennis, Coco Gauff has won the French Open women's title. American Coco Gauff beat world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus by 6-7, 6-2 and 6-4 to win the coveted title on Saturday. This was world number 2 Coco Gauff's second Grand Slam title and a first on clay surface. Gauff battled back from a set down to beat Sabalenka for the second time. She had also defeated Sabalenka in 2023 to win the US Open. The 21-year-old Coco Gauff became the first American woman to capture the singles title since Serena Williams in 2015 and the youngest from the United States to achieve the feat. World number 1 Yannick Sinner faces defending champion Carlos Alcaraz in the 2025 French Open men's final on Sunday. Carlos Alcaraz, the defending champion, advanced after Lorenzo Musetti retired due to injury during their semi-final clash. Meanwhile, world number 1 Yannick Sinner showcased dominance, defeating Novak Djokovic in straight sets, ending the Serb's quest for a 25th Grand Slam. For the first time in Grand Slam's history, 2 players born in the 2000s will contest the final, signaling a new era in tennis. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thought on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from the country and the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.